Tell me what a fractional CMO is and does in the first 90 days, and let people know who you are.
I'm Neville Pokroy. I'm a fractional CMO. For those who don't know, that's a chief marketing officer. I usually get called when a company wants to kickstart the second phase of growth, which means I don't do a lot of startups, because the second criteria that I have is that those organizations have funds that are ready and available to invest in holistic marketing. And for those that don't know what holistic marketing is, that's the broadest perspective of marketing available. What I normally do is I show up with about 250 different marketing tactics, which most of which I've used in sometime in my career. And the first part of my job is to figure out which 15 or 20 of those tactics will get the clients sales to accelerate. And so these days I mainly work with companies between $5 and $100 in revenue per year. And secondly, they have a vision for where they want to be in the future. I really have a very definitive process that I work with clients from the start on. And I use a proprietary marketing audit tool that I've developed as a result of the 30 years I've been doing this. It has 4 basic legs to it. Number 1, deep understanding with no assumption. And really that's to interrogate in a very nice way, not only the leader, but also the key players in his executive team, C-suite, about what their real pain is. Very often they will tell me what's bothering them, but when I start asking additional questions, I'm able to get a whole lot of different answers from them, which is not the same as what they volunteer. So that's number 1. The second thing is to really clearly clarify their business goals. And business goals need to be written and communicated. If it's in someone's head, it doesn't exist in reality. So that's the second thing I want to do. And then get consensus on their desired markets and customer base that they're looking to clarify. And that's not always aligned as well. Very often I get told everyone's our customer, and we know that doesn't happen. Have they written all of the stuff out and put it into a strategy or plan roadmap that helps them deliver? So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is collaboration and not dictation. And so I actively work with the leaders of the C-suite after I've gathered this information in terms of developing the next steps. And that's really important, because very often as a newcomer, existing people will be territorial and often put roadblocks in front of us. And so by working proactively with them in a collaborative way, we prevent those roadblocks from coming to the surface. Particularly relevant with a sales leader. So developing synergy with that sales leader and a team approach is absolutely crucial. Third step, thinking before doing. And I really use the first 2 steps to identify if the organization is a doing first organization or a thinking and planning organization first. Those are 2 very different kinds of organizations. For me, the doing first is a red flag, the thinking and the planning first, and then the execution second is a green flag for me. Finally, speed with purpose. Once all that analysis and planning is done, we look at the business through marketing eyes. And that's really what makes me different, because it allows me to identify opportunities and potential problems that they may have had that they've never identified before, because I look at it through marketing eyes. Each C-suite executive would look at it through their eyes, but if there is no marketer on that C-suite, they're not looking at it through marketing eyes. And the perfect example is a number of years ago coming up with a solution that was not specific to a marketing need for them, that they thought was in existence, but it was the incorporation of a customer portal that gave them a customer service capability that made them very, very different. And then once we identified those opportunity gaps, which is what we call them, we then move into action planning, put together very specific goals, responsibilities, timelines, and budgets based on short-term first, medium-term, and then long-term.